Hey guys, and here we are back with another one. Now today I'm going to share with you my review of the Q10 Pro Android TV box for a change here on the channel. Now this is the first time that I'm reviewing something from Himedia and the first time that I'm reviewing this SoC, this CPU as you want to call it. Now I have to do a video about SoC and CPU, but I'll leave that for another time. Now regarding this machine, you will see that this is not a budget machine, and it's always difficult when we get to a certain point, but as always you only you can decide if it's worth it for you or not. But what I can say on this side of the screen is that it is an interesting machine. It has a refreshing, or at least some refreshing features, and I can show you one of those features right over here, and a few others that you will have the chance to see on the video. Now one of the things that I would like to point right over here is one of the questions that I've got on the channel and I cannot test right over here, which is the audio formats that this machine is capable of. So for those of you that keep asking, hey Robert, does this machine is able to pass through on HDMI, DTS, HD for example, and other audio formats, this is a machine to consider, and you can see on the cover, and I will also leave the link down below for the official web page where you can see all the specifications regarding audio. So this machine certainly has a few things interesting, and it's not a budget machine. This is the spoiler alert that I can give, and as always just leave your comments down below regarding the machine or anything else that you want to talk about as always. And that being said guys, a long intro, so let's go straight for the video. Hope that you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you in a few seconds. And here we are with the Himedia Android TV box Q10 Pro that features the HiSilicon 3798C SoC, the Mali T720 GPU, 2GB of DDR3 RAM, and 16GB of flash storage with Android Lollipop 5.1. And regarding our usual and quick unboxing experience, as always, once we open the package we will find one HDMI cable, a user guide, infrared remote control, one power adapter, and finally the Q10 Pro that comes very well protected as we can see on screen, and that has a design different from what we have seen so far here on the channel, but we will take a closer look in just a few seconds. So at the front we will find a glass display with a time indicator and touch functions that we can use to browse through the menus, and this feature is interesting as can be used to control the box without the remote, and also because this was the first time that I've seen it on an Android TV box. Moving along, on the left hand side we will find one USB 3.0 and two USB 2.0 ports and one SD card slot. On the right hand side, one button that will allow us to open the top cover and will give us the option to insert a 3.5-inch hard drive, and in a very elegant way, at least on my opinion of course, with some attention to details such as the rubber on the top, which will reduce the hard drive vibrations. And at the back we will find a power input jack, update reset button, HDMI 2.0, gigabit Ethernet connection, RCA, coaxial output, optical out, a USB 3.0 B port, a non-detachable antenna, and a 40mm fan. And finally at the bottom it has 4 rubber feet. Now regarding the fan, which is something that we usually don't see on this kind of boxes, what I can say is that it's silent. If we have everything else turned on, then the fan doesn't exist at all. But on the other hand, if we shut down everything, then we can hear not the fan but the movement of the air. So my suggestion is, for a living room this box will be just great, but I would not get it for a bedroom for example. And in terms of size, it's bigger than what we usually see here on the channel. And just for comparison, I placed it next to my iPhone SE and the box that we just reviewed last week, and there is a nice difference as we can see on the image. Now regarding the build quality, it's solid, made mostly of a robust plastic with a glass on the front and a thin layer of brushed aluminum all around the box. By the way, the scratch that you guys are seeing on screen was made by me just to check out if it was was really metal. And regarding the remote control, it is an infrared remote control, so just get a wireless one, and I'll post a link here so that you guys can check my video about remote controls. Now this is the default launcher pre-installed on the machine, which is simple and easy to use, but as always we can install any other launcher of our choice as usual. And moving to our usual benchmarks and starting with the network speed test, using as always the Devolo Powerline adapter kit with gigabit connection and Wi-Fi AC. On Wi-Fi we got 50 megabits per second of download speed and 20 megabits on upload speed, and on the Ethernet connection 100 megabits of download speed and 20 of upload speed. On the disk speed test, 39 megabytes on reads and 14 megabytes on writes. Geekbench 3 with 701 on single core score and 2238 on multi-core score, which is actually a nice score. On Antutu roughly 38,000. Unfortunately, I was not able to install 3D Mark Score Ice Storm Extreme benchmark on this particular machine. And finally, on Epic Citadel 22.6 frames per second, which was a bit lower than I was expecting. And as you guys could see, we had a great CPU score and a low GPU score, but in terms of gaming, I had no issues at all playing my favorite games. Now, I did play Respawnables, Beach Buggy Racing and Asphalt 8 Airborne with no efforts at all for the machine. And I also tried PC Game Stream, but the maximum that I could achieve to have an acceptable performance was at 720 with 30 frames per second. And the game tested was Rocket League for a change. And in terms of video playback using Kodi, the Q10 Pro comes with version 15.2, which plays everything except 10-bit video files. So I did install the latest version of Kodi at this moment, which is 16.1, and it played everything without any issue. Big Bug Bunny, Tears of Steel and Sintel up to 4K with H.264 and H.265 codecs and 10-bit video files dive into the New World and Iceland with a very smooth video and audio playback, which by the way all credits due are down below on the video description. And finally, using the premium app Airpin Pro, as always, I was able to mirror and stream from my iPhone SE and also from the iMac, streaming as always the magazine style slideshow, sliding panels and vintage prints with a very smooth video and audio playback. So in conclusion guys, things that I did like the most were the build quality of the Q10 Pro, the design and attention to details, the touch feature on the front display, and finally an elegant mechanism to house a 3.5-inch hard drive. On the other hand, things that I did like the least, although the fan is silent, it is still a fan, so it's not 100% silent as other fanless solutions that we have seen on the past. And that is it, we have reached the end of another review, this time the Himedia Android TV Box Q10 Pro. Hope that you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did so, don't forget that usual thumbs up. My name is Roberto George, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.